Hey, what's up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys one of the best David Blaine card tricks out there. This is known as the two-card Monty, one of his most iconic and popular tricks. Since it first came out, there's so many different variations on it. David Blaine's got a few. We're going to be showing you guys one of the original David Blaine versions of the two-card Monty, giving you guys an in-depth tutorial on this. It's a really powerful trick, but at the same time, it's a trick that's not really performed a lot nowadays. So we want to make sure we keep this one alive, make sure you guys learn it and use it. Alright guys, don't forget to enter into our 150,000 subscriber giveaway. We're giving away a brick of Monarch playing cards. That is a full 12 decks of Monarch playing cards right there by Theory 11. $150 of Amazon gift cards and a signed deck of your choice by both myself and Robert. Both of us here at Card Shuffler 99 will be signing that deck and shipping it out to you guys. Now, we are getting really close to 150,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for subbing and supporting the channel. We really do appreciate it. Every single one of you guys. Now, if you guys want to purchase anything through Amazon, whether it's playing cards, a new phone, anything, if you want to sign up for a free trial of Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime, again, a free trial, use our affiliate link down in the description. It will take you to our very own Amazon page where we have product recommendations for our favorite decks of cards. We put a really good list of really good deals that you guys can find for playing cards. So if you guys want to do that, go check out our affiliate link down in the description, and you guys can check that out for yourselves. Anyway, guys, let's get straight into the performance. So, Robert, what I'm going to show you here, I'm going to give you one card. So this is the Ace of Diamonds. What I want you to do is you're going to take it, you're going to pinch onto this card, okay? So go ahead. Perfect. Now, Robert, what card do you have there?
The Ace of Diamonds.
The Ace of Diamonds. So, Robert, we're going to play a little game with you today, okay? Now, there's one rule to this game, and the only rule is after you just peeked at your card, you can no longer look at the card in your hand, okay? So that's the game here. So, again, what card do you have here?
Ace of Diamonds.
I'll give you one last look. Make sure that is the ace for me.
I can look at it?
Yep, just one more look. All right, now that's the last time that you can look. So if that's the Ace of Diamonds, what is this card right here?
I say Ace of Hearts.
This is the Ace of Hearts. Now, Robert, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Ace of Hearts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now switch the cards. So now what card do you have?
The Ace of Hearts?
The Ace of Hearts. So you have the Ace of Hearts, which means I have the Ace of Diamonds. Now, this is what I'm going to do in a second. I'm going to do something very similar. So you can see there, I just switched the cards. So now you have the hearts, I have the diamonds. But what I'm going to do in a second is I'm going to do it a lot faster. Now, I may or may not switch the cards, okay? That is up to you to decide whether or not I actually switch the cards. So are you ready for this, Robert?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go really, really fast. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Now, Robert, if you think I switched the cards, then they should be in a different order now. What card would you say is on the top? What card would you say is on the bottom?
I want to say the Ace of Hearts is on top. Ace of Diamonds on the bottom.
So you think I switched it?
Yeah.
You think I actually switched it?
Yeah.
All right, Robert. If you had to place money on, would you put money on that?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
Robert, go ahead. Flip the cards over. You can see.
I'm wrong.
You just got scammed. All right, guys, so that is the trick. Now, this is a really popular thing that a lot of people do in Vegas. Now, this is a really popular thing that magicians like to do. They like to go out and like to scam their spectators for money. Now, most of the time, you're going to place money on this. You're going to place bets. I don't recommend that. Gambling is bad, so don't do it. But what you can do is you can perform it as a magic trick, and that is completely fine by me. Just don't put money on it because you will get them almost every time. So that is a pretty cool routine. Now, like I said, that is the two-card Monty. That is David Blaine's version of it. So I'm going to show you guys how you can start doing this trick. So all you're going to need is 2 aces and 2 queens. You want to use 2 different colors. You can use the red queens and the black aces, anything like that. But the color contrast is definitely going to play an important role in the effect of the trick. So what you can do is you can start out with this entire thing set up from the beginning, but at the same time, you don't have to do that. You can start out with it in a random order, in a random part of the deck. And basically what you can do is as you start the deck, as you start talking about the trick a little bit, you can set it up. So what you could do here is as you go through, you can basically find each of the cards and bring them to the top of the deck. Something like this, what I'm doing right now, as you're talking about the story, right? And what the story could be is just, about how people go into Vegas, how people, basically scam others using a little trick known as the two-card Monty. And then you can go ahead and ask them, do you think you can get fooled by this? You don't have to put money on it, but you can just ask them and be like, we're going to give it a little shot today, see if we can actually get you to fall for it. No money involved, just see if we can get you to mess up, right? So the order that you're going to need to set this up with is the ace, followed by the 2 queens, and then the final ace. Okay, so that's your entire setup, just like that. If you really wanted to, you could shuffle the deck, but I mean, honestly, there's no point in doing that, right? So when you start the trick, you're going to need to get a break on the top 4 cards. So simple way you can do that. You want to push off. If you want to do a push off method, just push off the first 4 cards, basically just like so. And as you pull back in, you just grab that pinky break, just like so. You grab that pinky break on these 4 cards, right? Another way you could do it, simply if you really wanted to, before the trick started, you could go in holding the pinky break and just act like you're not holding a break. You just act like you're using the deck. They're not going to see the break. You're just going to act like nothing's happening. In reality, you're going to have that little break there. Now, what you're going to start out by doing is you're going to give them the first ace. Now, this is just going to be the ace on the top of the deck. So all I like to do is I just like to grab it and say, okay, so we're going to play around with this ace here. So this is the ace of diamonds, right? You're going to give it to them, and you're going to explain them the rules, right? So they can look at it to make sure it's the ace of diamonds. That's all fair game. But what you want to do is you're going to explain to them that after they look at the card once, they can no longer look at the card again. And because they looked at it once, they're not allowed to flip over the cards anymore. So they just have to hold on to this, and that's the final time they get to look at it, right? So this is going to be the ace of diamonds. What you're going to do from there is you're going to now flip over on this break all 3 cards, okay? You're going to flip that over, and you're going to say, okay, if that's the ace of diamonds, then what is this? They're going to say this is the ace of hearts, right? Obviously, it's the ace of hearts. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, that's the ace of hearts. You're going to flip all 3 cards back over. Once you flip these cards back over, you're then going to peel off the top. So you're acting as if that was 1 card. In reality, you have to play it off as 1, but you're really holding 3. From here, you're going to peel off the top card and you say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the cards out. So you're going to switch it out. Once again, you have to remind them they can't look at this. They're going to assume that that is the ace of hearts because I have the ace of diamonds, right? So you just switched it out. Now, once again, I think a lot of people, when they perform card tricks, once they know how it's done, they begin to overanalyze everything. They begin to explain things in too great of detail. And what that does is it actually takes away from the trick. When you're telling them over and over again what's happening, they're going to start thinking a little bit more that you're just lying to them, right? Because that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the trend nowadays, that the magicians aren't exactly telling the truth because something's happening. And they're going to start thinking about things they shouldn't be thinking about. So what you want to do is really not explain anything too great in detail. They don't know that the queens are going to be involved, right? You don't have to say ace, ace, ace every 30 seconds. You don't have to do that. You just play the trick off. They're watching it. They're paying attention as close as they want to. And, the more you bring things up and the more you try to convince them of something that's not actually happening, the more they think about it and the more they're going to think about it after the trick, and then they can probably piece it together. So don't do that. So once again, they have the queen now. They're going to have the first queen already. They still think these are 2 aces, right? You're just playing it off as an ace game. From here, you're going to say, okay, so I have the ace. Now you're going to explain to them that you're going to do something very similar. You're going to switch the cards, or maybe you're not going to switch the cards, but you're going to do it very quickly, and it's up to them to guess which one's which. So once again, you can remind them which card they have. You can be like, you have hearts, I have diamonds, right? Just make sure that they know they have the hearts, just because you don't want them to mess up, right? Now, in reality, what you're going to do here is now you're going to be doing a top change. So if you don't know what a top change is, basically what you're doing here is you're going to quickly and subtly push off the top card and switch it out like so, okay? So basically you're just doing something like this. You're going to be switching out the cards under the cover. Now, how are you going to do this? Now, you notice in the actual performance, I took my hands out of the camera just because nowadays when people are able to record magic tricks, it's a lot easier to pay. Like if I did it right in front of you, you'd be able to see me doing the top change. So in reality, the reason I took my hands out of the camera for the top change and I brought it back like this is because that's actually what the spectator should see. They shouldn't actually see you switching the cards out. It should just look like the cards are just down here. In reality, you're going to be really quickly and really subtly changing the cards out without them seeing. If your hands are barely moving down here, right, you do something just very simple like that, or you could do it very, very quickly right in front of their face. They still won't see it, but you're just doing that top change, and then you're going to say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe switch the cards out, but maybe I'm not. And you're going to do it very quickly. You're not switching anything out. You're just going to jab the cards in between their fingers, and they're going to say, okay, now you're going to place that on top. Now, most likely, 90% of the time, they're going to say you didn't switch it, okay? They're going to say that they still have hearts on the bottom, and they have diamonds on the top. That's what most magicians want the spectator to say, because you want to convince them that you didn't do anything. But from there, you go ahead and you say, all right, check it out. and they won't be correct. They're going to have the 2 queens, and they're going to be really confused. That's how a lot of people scam in Vegas nowadays. They use this really classic trick. But anyway, guys, that is the David Blaine 2 card money. Hope you enjoyed it, and it's Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.